Hey everyone, this is Andrew Nagel with Valk9 Designs, and I wanted to talk to you about different types of bales that I make. I use a couple of different types of bales in my pendants, and I figured it would be something I would share with you guys. So one of the pendants that I've been doing a lot lately, or one of the styles of pendants I've been doing a lot lately, are these sideways hanging pendants. And what I really like to do with these is almost kind of a hidden bale. I mean, it's not really hidden because you can obviously see them up here, but it's kind of the same concept as what you would do for a hidden bale, where I connect, two 21G or 20G square wires to the frame in there, and then they'll be sticking straight up, and then I'll wrap around, a 22 gauge or a 24 gauge round wire around those two square wires, and then I'll bring them back and connect them to either my bar or my frame or whatever I have going on my back. And since they're sideways hanging pieces, I do that process twice. And I'm always, I like to be very cognizant about how it's going to sit, and, you want to place your bales appropriately. Otherwise, you might place one here and it'll just sit very weird. And so you kind of want to think about how the pendant will sit when you build your bales. Now this one was a good one to show because it's one of my few double baled pendants right now. And it actually has two different styles of bales on it as well. It has that same process where I use the two 21G squares, and then I used a 22G round to wrap around this one, and then brought it back, and that's how I did my bars as well on this pendant. But then also on the other side, what I've done is I have a piece of a 2x1 millimeter rectangle that's running along this side here, and I've actually utilized this technique twice on this pendant to do this double-sided thing, and then also, once up here to make the bale on this piece where I bring the 2x1 millimeter up, and then it'll, hang out off the side here, and I'll bring other wires around to kind of thicken that up and round it off a little bit to make it a bit smoother on the chain, and then I'll bring that 2x1 rectangle down and attach it to the frame or the bars as well. And so for larger pendants, sometimes I like having the two just because I don't know, it gives it a bit more of an aesthetic feel, I felt like only one bale up here would have kind of made the point a little bit more drastic than I wanted to on this piece. Another type of bale you can do is a type of dangle bale that on here I have kind of locked in between two tube set sapphires, but you can also do that just on you could have just had the round frame there without the tube setting component there, and it would just dangle from that as well. And it'd have a bit more range of motion as well instead of just that. But basically I used my 2x1 millimeter rectangle and kind of snaked it through and attached it on the inside there, if you can see that, and curled it up. A little bit difficult for the camera to focus, as always. Oh, there we go. But yeah, it's kind of just wrapped around in there and locked in there. You just want to make sure your ends are turned in so that way you're not, it's not uncomfortable or anything like that. And then here is a pendant that obviously is not done. There's still a lot more work. I need to smooth this down and stuff and clean it all up. But on Rio Grande and Stoller, a few other silversmith places, you can buy pre-made bales. This one was just, the circle, obviously, then the bale. But you can also use those to, you can attach those as kind of a dangle component onto wire as well. You can use a jump ring there and connect it, or you can connect it with soldering, kind of like I have on here. And so, yeah, there's a few different ways that you can make your pendants hang. If someone was wild enough with it, you could even attach chains to each side here on a side hanging pendant. I've seen where, they'll bring the chain down and it'll have like two clasps and it'll hook to each side of the pendant and it'll just hold onto the sides. And so that's a style of bale I haven't done yet that I want to try soon. So yeah, thank you guys very much, and I hope this was educational about bales and how to bring them together. I will do an actual video tutorial on a couple of these different styles as well, maybe just like a big meshed video of how I do them, just, you know, in little segments just brought together. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my bale talk, and look forward to the bale tutorial. Thanks, everyone.